this?
After 8 marriages, she was through. Elizabeth Taylor was just 18 years old when she walked down the aisle for the first time.
I'm not putting the failure of my marriages off on anyone myself.
For the most part, marriage did not work for Elizabeth Taylor. It was in 1950 that she married the first of her 7 husbands, hotelier Nicky Hilton.
I was married a virgin.
You were?
Yep.
But their marriage only lasted 9 months. Elizabeth's journey to find true love began yet again. In 1952, Elizabeth married actor Michael Wilding. Taylor had 2 children with Wilding, but the couple split 4 years later. Just a few months after divorcing Wilding, Elizabeth married the man she called her first true love, Hollywood producer Mike Todd.
We'd only had 13 months together, and I loved him with my life.
But after only 13 months of marriage, Todd was tragically killed in a New Mexico plane crash. On Larry King Live, Elizabeth recalled the moment she heard the devastating news.
And I just screamed, "No, he's not!" And I ran. I ran out of the room.
While mourning Todd's death, Elizabeth turned to his good friend, singer Eddie Fisher, for comfort.
I never thought I'd love again.
Their new relationship bloomed even though Fisher was already married to Debbie Reynolds. Taylor and Fisher married in 1959. 48 years later, at Elizabeth's 75th birthday party, Reynolds held no grudge.
Whatever happened between Elizabeth and I many years ago has long passed.
The union of Taylor and Fisher lasted 5 years. Elizabeth's affections for Fisher cooled considerably when she met the man who would become the second great love of her life, Richard Burton.
I think having a fight, an out-and-out, outrageous, ridiculous fight, is one of the greatest exercises in marital togetherness. I think
especially if you have no really weak points.
Oh, I see.
You see, you do not attack the weak points. They're perfectly obvious in Elizabeth and myself. So when I insult Elizabeth, which I frequently do, I do not attack that soft spot in the underbelly. And when she attacks me, double chins.
You bloody well have.
Yeah, she's got a slightly fat belly. I never use
Well, I've got his pock marks, you know.
This 1970 60 Minutes interview said it all. Taylor and Burton, without a doubt, the most dysfunctional marriage Hollywood has ever seen. They fought hard and they loved hard. And for the press, it was great theater.
I wonder if you've learned anything from Miss Taylor. Well, when we close the doors at night...
It was on the set of their 1963 epic Cleopatra that Taylor fell madly in love with Burton, even though she was married to Eddie Fisher and Burton was married to wife Sybil Williams. Taylor and Burton's affair became tabloid fodder, and even the Vatican took a shot when it condemned Elizabeth for her erotic vagrancy. But as soon as the two divorced their spouses, Taylor and Burton wed on March 15th, 64.
Is this something close to married love?
The two starred in 11 films together in which they displayed the intense passion that they exhibited off-screen. Their marriage was also filled with extravagant spending, as well as emotional and explosive fights fueled by their heavy drinking and Burton's reported affairs.
I think it's colored our whole lives.
Oh, you're dead.
You only need to watch their 1966 film, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, to see how highly charged these two could be with one another.
So here I am, stuck with this flop, this bog in the history department, who's married to the president's daughter, who's expected to be somebody, not just a nobody.
But their fiery marriage proved to be too much for Taylor, so she and Burton divorced in 1974. But just 1 year later, they were back at it again. But this time, the marriage lasted only 9 months.
I will put up with a lot. But when finally the curtain falls, I'll still be friends.
Close even after divorce, the two reunited on stage in a 1983 Broadway production of Private Lives. Burton died from a sudden cerebral hemorrhage in 1984. In an interview 1 year later, Elizabeth's face lit up at the mere mention of his name.
Oh, I have so many memories. but they're mine.
We say a final goodbye to Elizabeth Taylor with some never-before-seen images from Life magazine of lovely Elizabeth. 18-year-old bride arrives to walk down the aisle for the first time to marry hotel heir Conrad Nicky Hilton. The year, 1948. The all-American beauty focusing in on an amazing life ahead. Elizabeth with co-star and dear friend Montgomery Clift during filming A Place in the Sun. And we uncovered these amazing shots. The first-time mom with newborn son Michael Wilding Jr. And we leave you with this 1961 snapshot. The sexy legend clutching her first of 2 Oscars. Rest in peace, Elizabeth.